Good day, Magi family. Welcome back to my channel. So, big news. The Queen takes Andrew's title. The Duke of York won't use his Royal Highness officially, so he's going to keep his HRH, but he loses all of his military roles and royal patronages and is told that he will have to face the sex assault lawsuit as a private citizen. Think about how many strategy meetings were occurring. Ghislaine Maxwell was convicted. Jeffrey Epstein passed away under very suspicious circumstances, and it was a second attempt in his cell. They turned the cameras off. Both of those guards were indicted on federal charges and fired from their jobs. Very suspicious. Let's kind of look through this. So he's stripped of all his royal patronages and military titles. The bubble over my head, the first thing I thought, are Harry and Meghan next to be stripped of their titles? Because, boy, they sure are causing a lot of trouble, and that would be a great move. 150 senior military veterans wrote in and said, were this any other senior military officer, it is inconceivable that he would still be in his post. We are therefore asking that you take immediate steps to strip Prince Andrew of all of his military ranks and titles, and if necessary, that he be dishonorably discharged. Dishonorably discharged. That's a big deal. So what is the current status with Prince Harry and Meghan and their royal titles? Because they're not working royals. Okay. A year ago, they stepped away and Harry was stripped of all of his military appointments and royal patronages. And so Meghan was stripped of her few royal patronages. Harry continues his work with Invictus Games and the Sent to Bail charity. And Meghan remains the patron of the Mayhew Animal Welfare Charity and Smart Works. So they've not been stripped of their titles. They are not allowed to use their titles. And yet, every time we hear of Meghan, she is being referred to specifically at her request as the Duchess of Sussex. Okay, Harry is just Harry. So a major catalyst that caused the stripping of Andrew's titles and patronages is Ghislaine Maxwell was the madam of Jeffrey Epstein, and she was convicted of 5 of 6 federal sex trafficking charges. Basically, Maxwell was found guilty of 5 of the 6 federal counts she was charged with and faces up to 65 years in prison. She played a pivotal part in recruiting and grooming teenage girls to be sexually abused by Jeffrey Epstein and others. Okay, and then before this, we have the death of Jeffrey Epstein, the very, very suspicious death of Jeffrey Epstein. He tried to off himself, allegedly, a few days earlier, like a week earlier, on July 23rd. He was found on the floor of his cell with a strip of bedsheet around his neck, and he was on suicide watch. On the night, so he died actually August 9th. So July 23rd to August 9th, 2 weeks. And he was in the SHU, the Special Housing Unit, which is the most secure unit. And it's called closed custody. And both the cameras were turned off, and both guards, prison guards, who were required to check on him every 15 minutes or something, they falsified the records stating that they did check on him every 15 minutes, and they didn't. And the cameras mysteriously went out, and he hung himself sitting down. Okay, so weird. Who else hung themselves sitting down? Anthony Bourdain, Robin Williams. How do you hang yourself sitting down? Okay, if you're in distress, stand up. Okay, and then you're not being choked anymore. Really, really strange. Some of the things I want to take a look at is, are Harry and Meghan next in line to have their titles stripped? Because, boy, they're causing a lot of trouble. Will Andrew settle with Virginia Giuffre? Okay, because if he doesn't, he's going to be dragged through 7 hours of cross-examination. He's going to have to talk about how he never sweats, how he's physically incapable of sweating. He's going to have to talk about all of his sexual liaisons from forever, which is why they're stripping his titles, and he's now a private person. And he's going to have to talk about all of his involvements with Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. And I believe Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine are just really, really the most despicable kind of people. And Andrew is right there with them. Good day, Magi family. Welcome back to my channel. Time for a spot of royalty. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination, Fortune Telling, The Magi Method. You can find the book worldwide on Amazon and Kindle and paperback versions. Find the full color card deck used here on Etsy/Magi Method. Many thanks to the generous folks who regularly contribute to me, to my Tea Fund. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. So, that's big news. You know, Andrew is stripped of his titles. That's big news. I didn't expect this. I mean, even with all the stuff going on, this just played out over at least a year, maybe years. I've been watching this for at least a year, and now finally, when they acted, when the Queen acts, it was very decisive. It was very decisive. So, are Harry and Meghan next in line to have their titles stripped? Are they the next in line to have their titles stripped? Because, I mean, talk about causing a lot of trouble. I don't see how they can cause more trouble. They're trying to bring down the monarchy so that Meghan can be the Nubian queen, which is nonsense. They live in America. They have no status. Apparently, they think they can just declare themselves king and queen, and that's how it happens. And some things are like that. You know, I think these Hollywood royalty, how did that happen? It just happened. You know, nothing was official. It just happened. It's crazy how stuff goes like that. So are Harry and Meghan next in line to have their titles stripped? You know, that would be really something. Scapegoat. Manifesting getting kicked out. Oh boy. These are good cards if you want them to get their titles stripped. A lot of breaking up cards, a lot of casting out cards. Really bad relationships. 6 spades. And 6 diamonds. Sun exposing. So what are we seeing here? We've got coffin, ending, and death. I've been painting. I've been painting swatches of paint on my walls to see what colors I want to paint my walls. Coffin, ending, cast out, roadblock, broken relationship, bad relationship. But it ends with hand in hand. Now, there's a whole lot of royals, and they're working together. Hand in hand is a good working together card, or associated with the royal families. The ending is still looks associated with the royal family. So let's read it. Scapegoat, kick him out, manifesting getting kicked out, and axed. So Meghan and Harry are checking all the right boxes to have their titles stripped. Definitely. 12 and 13, 25, 7 hearts. The royal family is absolutely thinking about stripping Meghan and Harry's titles. Absolutely. They haven't pulled the trigger, and I find it fascinating how decisively this action took place. It just took place in a single instant, and then it was done like the fall of the executioner's axe on the neck of the guilty or the condemned. Whether they're guilty or not, they're condemned. Because people got executed and they weren't guilty of anything. They were political people. So they're definitely thinking about it. Meghan and Harry are a huge problem. And the royal family is very much committed to thinking about this and keeping them away, keeping this disease off of them that is Meghan and Harry. So the next big thing that's coming up is Harry is writing another, there's another tell-all. My goodness. It's all the dog hair is on my yellow thing. It's like a magnet. And it's not anywhere else that I can see it. It's so fine and small I can't see the dog hair anywhere else. So they're really committed to keeping Meghan and Harry away from them. Strength. They are poisoning the foundation, incubus, succubus, and strength. But they still have this royal association. So what I see happening here is the royal family, just like with Andrew, they're watching everything, they're calculating everything, they're saying if this happens, we'll do this, if that happens, we can do that. But they're not ready to kick him out yet. Okay, they're really watching, and if it gets bad enough, if the right catalyst comes, they'll kick him out. And for those hopeful that Meghan and Harry will lose their titles, have their titles stripped, Andrew having his title stripped is a great precedent, okay? You can't claim racism with Andrew. Andrew is a favorite of the Queen. You can't claim anything. It's really, I'm not sure what you're going to claim with Andrew having his title stripped. Okay, and then if on the heels of that they strip Meghan and Harry's titles, it's hard to claim bigotry, racism, discrimination. It's hard to claim these things because Andrew was just kicked out. So what I see is the royal family is really, really looking at this carefully and calculating and really thinking about kicking them out, but they're not ready to pull the trigger. Another big question is, will Andrew settle with Virginia Giuffre? Okay, Epstein, before his very strange death, he settled for $500,000, $500,000. Now, a lot of people, everybody likes to say that, all these prostitutes are trafficked. I don't believe Giuffre is innocent. Okay, she was 17, which was an adult. Okay, the only evidence they have is Andrew was with Giuffre, whatever happened, when she was 17 and she was a legal adult. Furthermore, her parents had to approve her using her passport to go overseas at that age, and they did, so her parents had full knowledge of this. She was basically a prostitute, so I don't believe her hands are clean. I don't have as much sympathy as I think a lot of people might. She was manipulated, but she had huge incentives. She was very interested, I think, in what she's doing. Now, having said that, I think Andrew is despicable. I think Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell are absolutely despicable. I think they are purely satanic people. They had all those Hollywood people coming out. Steven Spielberg is shown with Epstein. All these top lawyers and people running our country in America are seen with Epstein. These are awful, awful, despicable people. But Virginia Giuffre is not innocent. I don't think she's innocent. So, and I think it's wrong to always pretend that women are always the victims. I actually don't know. She's not innocent. She is not an innocent girl. Not innocent. And you make the bed, you lay in it. So will Andrew settle with Giuffre? Because what just happened is Andrew's lawyers filed with the court in New York to have all these charges dismissed because Epstein already paid her $500,000. So it's like double jeopardy trying it again. No, the judge says, no, we will proceed on all counts. And it's a civil trial. So let's look at Andrew and Virginia Giuffre. Is he going to settle? Andrew, claiming his innocent. Giuffre, is he going to settle? Where's the money? Wow. Where's the money, honey? Where's the money? Diamonds are money. We like to see diamonds. We got one diamond. Here's another. We've only got 2 diamonds, and these are not great diamonds. The best diamonds that you want to see are 8 diamonds, which is cornucopia or the card of money, and 10 diamonds, inheritance. These are the best money cards. 4 diamonds is also good. 2 diamonds I would like to see. I'm only seeing 9 diamonds and Jack of diamonds. Weird. What do we have over here with Andrew? He's proclaiming to the world that he's innocent. Angels, city, and roses. His hands are clean. 22. He's telling everybody his hands are clean. I'm innocent, and I'm innocent. Nobody believes Andrew is innocent. I don't believe Andrew is innocent. I believe he's done terrible things. That's what I think. Because Epstein was a straight up Satanist, and he was doing sacrifices. He was doing weird sacrifices. I think he was maybe even doing human sacrifice, and really doing just the worst possible things you can imagine down there in the Virgin Islands on his private island where nobody would interrupt him. Okay, what's Giuffre got? Very disappointed. Her reaction is tremendous disappointment. She's going to tell everybody. 1924, 6 spades. This tells me I think he will settle, and I think she'll get a very small amount. I don't think she's going to get $500,000. I think she's going to get a much, much smaller amount. Emotional. She's playing a role and telling everybody how upset she is. Let's ask... Will Giuffre receive more than $200,000 in settlement? Here's something fell out. Devil. Wow. Devil will do anything. Will Giuffre receive more than $200,000 from Andrew? From Andrew's house, from his lawyers? In discussions, we have a no. Very interesting. So, honest woman, she's really committed to going through with it. 12, 14, and 3, 17, 5 hearts. And she's going to react to everything, but underneath, the devil, they'll do anything. They're doing anything to stop it and block it. Blocked, stopped, no. So is she going to get plus 200,000? No. And she's going to be tremendously disappointed in what she's able to squeeze out of Andrew. Okay, because she's already got $500,000. So apparently that's not enough. She wants to keep, dragging this through the media that she's this victim. Did she suffer losses? Yes. I think everyone involved is despicable, including Giuffre. I think she is essentially just a prostitute, and she's just as despicable as all the rest of them. I don't really view her as a victim. Is she damaged psychologically? Yes, absolutely. But that's the pay to play. So, was the conviction of Ghislaine Maxwell the catalyst? Well, it wasn't quite. Is Andrew's prosecution politically motivated? Let's look at that. Okay, because we've seen several politically motivated prosecutions and deaths. Anthony Bourdain, how did he kill himself sitting down? Robin Williams, how did he kill himself sitting down? Harvey Weinstein. Everybody knew what Harvey Weinstein was doing for 40 years, and look at how despicable this man is. Just like Epstein. Absolutely despicable. These people are despicable. Where's Weinstein from? Hollywood. Okay, there's some really evil people in Hollywood. And Epstein had the Hollywood people. He had Spielberg. We have photos of Spielberg with Epstein and flying on his plane. What was he doing? Talking about movies? I don't know. I don't think so. We know what Epstein did. He's the candy man. Okay, in the worst possible way. So was Andrew's prosecution politically motivated? Because everybody knew what was going on for years and years and years. Nobody did anything. But now they're going after Andrew. Was it politically motivated? we have the fox. The fox is very clever, very strategic. The fox and the snake are the most clever, most strategic cards. Okay, the executioners also really has a plan, really has a long-term plan, but the fox is really clever. Okay, 12 and 8, 20, 5 spades. This is a 0. The jokers are 0. So this is the time to, they really felt that this is the time. Never let a crisis go to waste. I mean, look at the Wu flu. Look at all the nonsense they just keep dredging up and dredging up. And I want you to think about, if Mr. T was president, all of this would be over. And there would be no more lockdowns. There would be no more killing the economy. None of this stuff would be happening. And Europe would be largely following suit. I haven't heard about any lockdowns in Russia. Japan is not locking down anybody, and their numbers are not higher. They've never locked anybody down at all from the beginning. And they do not have higher infection rates. They do not have a problem there. They have less of a problem in places where they've not locked down. So this was just a tremendous opportunity to go after the royal family. So never let a crisis go to waste. That's what strategists decided, and they're not from the royal family. They hate the royal family. So a great time to create this conflict and bring it in front of all the people reacting to outside events. So was this politically motivated? It was completely motivated by the circumstances. This is a great time to attack the royal family and attack Andrew and bring all this stuff up. And that's what all of these cards are saying, that this is an opportunity that the people behind the scenes pulling the strings just couldn't afford to miss. Never let a crisis go to waste. And, you know, COVID is real, but what they're making out of it is just way, way too much. They're just seeing how far they can push the people before they snap. And you're seeing riots all over the world, and they're suppressing these videos and the pictures of people rioting over the terrible restrictions, which are anti-constitutional, anti-freedom. And I actually think you can still hear it in my voice, I just had a chest infection for 10 days. I actually think that was the Omicron. I never went to the doctor. I was never tested. It passed, I was tired for like 2 days, but then in my lungs, it stayed for 10 days. Pretty much like the previous one, which I was tested, I was diagnosed, I did have a terrible fever. I didn't have any fever. So what? I didn't even go to the doctor. And it's run through my system, and I barely even notice any difference in my energy levels. I'm still going to the gym and lifting weights. I'm still running, and running because I could feel stuff in my lungs. I went running at the gym, and that's what made me sick for a few days, right before New Year's, the day before New Year's, maybe New Year's Eve. So let's add this up. 12, 21, plus 9, 30, 8 diamonds. Yeah, it's all of the circumstances. So they're just really taking advantage of the circumstances. So there were people watching and waiting for an opportunity to hit the royal family and to hurt them and to go after them. Go back. So what do we have? Okay, are Harry and Meghan next in line to have their title stripped? No, not at this time. They are next in line, but the royal family is not ready to pull the trigger. Now they've set up everything perfectly with Andrew being stripped of his titles. They can strip anybody and no questions asked. So they can definitely strip Meghan and Harry, and all of their excuses and you're discriminating against us, nobody's going to hear it. It's going to fall on deaf ears, except for a few sugars. Okay, like that lady who wished the queen dead. So we're seeing 8 spades, 4 spades, 5 spades, 6 spades, 2 spades. There's only 10 cards. 5 of those cards are crazy negative. So they're really looking at stripping Meghan and Harry of their titles, but they haven't done it yet. Andrew and Virginia Giuffre, will he settle? She's going to get a very small amount from Andrew, and Andrew's team will do anything. They got the devil, they got no, and they got 5 spades. Man, they're any exception, they're going to play it. Will Giuffre get more than $200K from Andrew? No, she's going to be very disappointed. Was this politically motivated? It was timing. These people are very patient. It's incredible how patient they are. It's timing. It's timing. And I think it was politically motivated. But this talks about timing. That's how I see it. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination, Fortune Telling, The Magi Method. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment.